Let's talk about every team's biggest question going into the 2026 MLB season. Before we get going into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Windup. Big shout out to all our members. We appreciate you. And let's get going into this. But first, we want to give a quick shout to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. Baseball season is in full swing. We've got spring training. We've got the World Baseball Classic. Opening day is around the corner. If you're anything like us, you want to go to those games, which means you need tickets. That's where SeatGeek comes in. Use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next purchase on SeatGeek. Hey, maybe you don't want to buy tickets to a baseball game right now. You can still buy tickets to basketball games. The World Cup's coming up. There's concerts, there's comedy shows, there's festivals. SeatGeek has it all. And with over 30 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Our personal favorite feature about SeatGeek is their SeatGeek score. That's where they take tickets and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. When you see tickets with a score closer to 10 or a green dot like you see on the screen, that means it's a good deal. You should buy those tickets. When you see tickets with a score closer to 1 with a red or orange circle, that means don't buy those. They're not a good deal. So once again, we've got the hookup. Use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next set of tickets on SeatGeek. That's 10% off your next purchase of tickets on SeatGeek using our code WINDUP10. Links in the description. Download the SeatGeek app, and hopefully we see you guys at a game soon using our code. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. All right, James, what division you want to start with?
Usually we start East. You want to go out West to start this one off?
Yeah, let's go West. American League or National League?
American League.
All right, American League West. I'm picking the team first. Let's talk about the Mariners. And to kind of be a little bit crude here, but can you guys wake up? This is one of the best teams in baseball.
Are you talking about the team or the people who talk about the team?
Everybody needs to wake up. I'm waiting for the Mariners. They were so close last year. I know they were on the edge, but it's just they can't break through that ceiling just yet. And I do want Julio Rodriguez a full good season. Their guys turned up. Cal Raleigh simply isn't going to hit 60 home runs again. There's almost no shot that he does. They need other people to step up. They need the pitching to wake up. You can't have George Kirby be the player that he was last year. I want to see the Mariners push the chips even more all in than they already have. This team is so close to being able to compete with the Dodgers, I think. They just need to make some more moves and wake up.
I think it seems tremendous. I don't even know how many more moves they need to make. For the Mariners, I want a little bit more specific for the question they need to answer. Can all of these pitchers be healthy and clicking at the same time?
It's a good one, too.
Because if they're all at the top of their game, I still think this is the best or the second best rotation in baseball. But last year, when they had their most successful season in decades, Mariners fans,
time, yeah.
But there was basically not a point in the year where they even had 3 of these guys moving at the same time. And even by the end of when they were getting through that series against the Blue Jays, you could argue that almost none of them were clicking at the same time. Bryce Miller already's picked up a lat or a side or an oblique or something beginning of camp here. We need to see Brian Wu be healthy after the way last season ended. Logan Gilbert's a hoss. George Kirby, I trust him even after some poor performance last year. Luis Castillo now just as the 5 is good enough to be there. But can you get good health and click from all of these guys together to get over that hump?
I do also wonder what this team does with the expectations now being World Series or bust. This team needs to make the World Series. If they don't, you're going to be a little disappointed. What does that do for this roster? Because every other year, it's been they're the fun pick of if things go right, this team can go on a run. Now it's expected that they're going to go on a run.
I think this is a team that has enough veteran leadership, enough veterans, enough star power, enough just guys up and down this club that they can handle those expectations. And they're not in the most difficult division, so that's
Correct.
usually a nice, easy way just in case things go wrong, similar to last year. You have a lot of extra time to bring the nose up compared to some other teams, some other divisions. But I love this Mariners team, but it's going to come down to that staff, and I think that it's just that's it. That's their breaking point.
What team you want to do next?
Angels?
Yeah, that was exactly who I had next. All right, I'll get this one out of the way. Did you buy air conditioning? Are you taking care of your players? Because it doesn't seem like the Angels do at any point in their entire organization take care of their players. Did you buy air conditioning for the workout room? Are you going to be able to keep these guys healthy? Are you going to get them water? What is the deal with this organization? It feels like a complete mess.
I did a serious one and a joking one. The joking one is how many more 2018 top 50 prospects can you squeeze onto this roster?
That's good.
But the serious one is, could you actually have an above-average rotation?
No, but maybe.
I'm telling you right now, I think, I'm a big Jose Soriano guy.
Yes.
I really
He's their best guy, I think.
I think he is. I think honestly by far. I think he actually does. He can definitely take a step forward because he did a weird thing last year that sinker ballers never do, where he threw tons of sinkers, 65% sinkers, but none of them were in the strike zone. Usually, when you're throwing sinkers, you throw them so they can hit the ball. I don't know if that was just a miss by Soriano, game plan wise, or actually execution wise, but Reed Detmers is getting a lot of the pub right now. The way that Reed Detmers kind of changed and grew into himself a little bit last year as he got relegated to the bullpen, it looks like he can get back in the rotation and look good. And then you say Kikuchi, fine 3, if he can be that. Can Grayson Rodriguez, can you pitch 110 innings?
It's a big question.
If you get the 50th percentile outcome for all 4 of those guys, and you get just the I guess 80th percentile outcome for Grayson's health, you probably have like the 15th best rotation in baseball.
I was gonna say I think 15th might be the top tier. I was gonna say like you probably have like the 19th best rotation.
I'm saying if things click for this team, like can your rotation actually win you some games and keep you in the American League wildcard race later in the season than you've been in the last few years?
I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean this team's just so weird. Like what is going on with them? Again, feel bad for them because Artie Moreno needs to sell. As soon as he sells, this organization can turn around.
No, but this is at least the most interesting group they've had in the last 2 years since Ohtani left.
Gets a little bit of a meme, but definitely.
Yeah. All right, next, I want to do the Astros.
Ooh, Astros. I think we're going to have the same one, so I'm going to let you go first.
All right, mine here, vague, broad, kind of weird, quirky. Do you still deserve the benefit of the doubt?
Whoa, explain.
Because the Astros had the shine of the team where you kind of just gave them blind trust over the last decade because they deserve such. If they had a cold streak like, oh, they're the Astros, they'll level it out. If they look like the position group is weak heading into the season, oh, it's the Astros. I know they'll have a player that pops up and does it. Like this year, their outfield looks strange. Their infield depth is weird. Their pitching still looks weird. If Josh Hader doesn't pitch, I don't know what's good with that bullpen. Do you deserve the benefit of the doubt like we gave you over the last 10 or so years? Or is this team just painfully mid?
Yeah, that's kind of where I went. I said, is the dynasty run over? We know it's not the same. We know that they're on the back end of it. But I feel like this year can really cement them either way. Like they have a strong season, probably buy back into the idea that this Astros team is legit. But is this just the end? Play the Adele music. This is the end. But like, is Altuve still going to be able to perform well? Is Yordan Alvarez going to be healthy ever again? Christian Walker, does he have an ounce left of good baseball left in him? Carlos Correa. Everywhere around this team, it just feels like it's a 50-50 right now with everything that's going on, even on the pitching side. You just mentioned, will Josh Hader pitch? We don't know. It feels like the Astros have been in limbo for the last 2 years.
This also might be, of all the teams that actually are intending to win baseball games this season, the worst outfield in baseball. Actually, might be the worst. I think I might take the Nationals and the Rockies actually outfields over the Astros outfield.
I think so, yeah, with James Wood, Jacob Young, but like...
Jacob, one of the best center field defenders in the league.
Yeah, and Dylan Cruz, who we just think will be better than he has been. Or even Dalen Lyle, throw him in there as a fourth option.
That's what I'm saying. Then you got Brenton Doyle, Jordan Beck. Like this Astros outfield right now, unless there are rumors now that Yordan will get out there and play the outfield a little bit more.
Such a mistake.
But then who's on the bench? Like, is Isaac Paredes just on the bench on opening day then?
Why did they not trade somebody?
I think they tried, but I think everyone knew that. Now, Jeremy Pena had his injury pop up. He's a very big piece of their defensive puzzle on the infield because I don't know what else is going on there. It's like it's Joey Luperfido, Zach Cole, Jake Myers. You might not get 2 WAR combined from the trio. I might even got one. But it's just I don't know if the team still deserves the benefit of the doubt, and that's the question I'm going to be asking myself this whole year about them.
Yeah, no, I like that. How about the A's? For me, it was, are we going to see them actually start pushing in a little bit of money? We'll get ready for Vegas for when they get there because they're handing out the extensions. They have one of the best young cores in all of baseball right now on the offensive side. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see signs of moving forward, kind of timing up with when they get to Las Vegas?
Okay, similar but different. Can you score 10 runs a game?
Yeah, it's true. Their hitting's incredible.
This team, this lineup in that ballpark, it's like, wow, you look like you should really be able to make some noise. You look at the rotation, you're like, all right, you probably actually can't make some noise. That could change. I mean, Severino looks like has a better mindset heading into camp this year. They were pretty open about that. Jeffrey Springs also is fine. Jacob Lopez is fine. Aaron Savali is going to try again. I think Gage Jump will make his way into this team at some point this season.
JT Ginn looks good.
JT Ginn looks good. And I think they still have Luis Morales. I think Medina's still over there throwing gas. Like, they're going to mess around and see what happens, but that bullpen's a mess. Can this lineup support this team to the point where they can actually, again, flirt with 500 and you can start to feel like you're getting to the next stage of the rebuild?
Again, if you're an East Coast fan, this should be your West Coast team that you tune into every night, at least when they're home, because they're going to absolutely mash.
No, just Nick Kurtz, Soderstrom, like Langoliers, Bangaliers, Rooker. Like that's as good of the top 4 as you're going to see in the American League.
Last team, the Texas Rangers. I went goofy on this one. How many Latinos get into the lineup for the Texas Rangers in 2026? Because right now, if you look at their projected 26-man roster, according to my calculations, you have Ezekiel Duran, who is the only offensive player of any sort of descent that is not American. On the pitching side, Robert Garcia, but I believe he's American. But
He's born in America, but he's definitely Latin descent.
he counts as Latino. And Alexis Diaz, who I don't know if it's a guarantee he even makes the roster. So that would put them at 3 maximum right now if Fangraphs roster resource is accurate.
I like Alejandro Osuna. He's still in the organization, right? He'll get
He's
some
hanging
plate
around.
appearances.
Yeah.
He'll get something. Him and Mark Hanna are down there, probably going to be the AAA outfield.
Even their guys that like could be coming up, like Nick Prado, who's a first baseman, Justin Foscue, guys, all their like depth guys are all just white dudes. Like that's kind of how it rolls.
What happened in this farm system? This was supposed to be like a top farm system. Every single guy flopped, and now even this year, Sebastian Walcott's getting Tommy John surgery, UCL surgery, whatever it is. That's a shame too. So mine was more serious for this one because this Rangers team again, they just look like an 83 win team. I don't know how they go above that or below that. So this year to me is going to be a lot about Wyatt Langford. Can Wyatt Langford be a superstar? Will Wyatt Langford be a superstar really? Because he's shown the raw tools. The power's unreal. The athleticism's crazy, but he has not at all had any development yet with the hit tool. Like the fact that his batting average at this point, 2 full seasons, almost 2 full-ish seasons in the major leagues, is still sitting around 240. I expected that to be something that he would carry a little bit higher. So let's kind of see if that's something he can do.
Especially because his batted ball quality is good. So it's very confusing as to why he's like a 240 hitter. His on-base did jump last year, which is big. Like if he's going to be a 340 guy, I truly don't particularly mind if his batting average is 240,
No,
but
for sure.
for him to get to that next level, it's got to be 260, and that probably also includes close to 30 home runs.
He's also a guy that's just, you have so much speed and athleticism. But also like looking at his batted ball distribution, it's not like sometimes these guys who run these really low BABIPs have too many fly balls. He actually ran a high BABIP. Yeah, maybe just has to make some more contact.
I think
maybe
that's
just
what it is.
not swinging at enough strikes. Let's see what that Z swings before we move on here. He's swinging at enough strikes too. It's just where
It's weird.
there's just like you're kind of stuck in something. It seems like let's see if you can make it happen because the next step seems like it really should be there and it should happen any second now. I just want to see it happen.
Yeah, he'll only be 24 this upcoming season as well, so he still has plenty of time. But it would be
Totally.
cool to see him get there right now.
Yeah, and again, like I'm saying this, he's still been worth over 7 WAR over 2
Still been
seasons
great,
in the major leagues. That's 270 games. Like he's still been awesome. But it's like I want to see if can you have like a 6-7 win season? Like
And can
you
he play center field?
Can you just bust through this glass ceiling and be like the dude that we thought you were?
All right, let's move into the National League West. Let's go with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think they're one of the easier ones. I just put, is this the greatest modern team ever assembled?
I was gonna say, do you still have the passion?
Ooh, I like that. Do you still have the passion and desire, or are you just tired?
I was saying, like, where is it? Like, how much fun is it to go through the Dodgers team where 6 months of the year, you know, the regular season doesn't matter? Like, we kind of saw those Warriors teams. So that's kind of who I compared this era of the Dodgers to.
Very similar.
Very much compared to the Warriors, especially like with Kevin Durant. Not comparing Kyle Tucker to Kevin Durant, but just that's how this roster feels and how it feels insurmountable for most teams in the league to have a chance to beat them. Where if someone did, like, wow, like that becomes the story. But you saw that team have major lapses in the regular season. It was what, the 2016, 2017 third quarter of the Warriors. That was kind of the whole thing.
Oh my God, those are free money bets.
That was very fun to watch in college. But it's just, do you still have it? Can you still wake up in the morning and be really excited about this every day? And like, you will get to October, but like, flipping the switch is difficult. Can you maintain that level of effort and intensity to get yourself there?
Yeah, I guess it really is more, can they flip the switch? Because
Yeah.
we know that the regular season, they're just going to be coasting because they can.
There was a great piece put out by, I think it was Baseball Prospectus, about how many days every team utilizes like how many days of every player in the team's organization is on the injured list. Unless the Dodgers like 1,000 clear of the next team.
Wow.
Because just they put so many guys on the IL. Like Blake Snell's tired. We'll see you in May. Like they do not care. Rookie Saki's disaster doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't it really just doesn't matter for them.
Yeah, he's gonna be someone to watch too, because boy does he look absolutely putrid again in spring.
Yeah, very bad. San Francisco Giants.
I mean, like lazy answer by me, is Tony Vitello actually an MLB manager? Like I think that's worth a question. We saw the weird press conference stuff, and truthfully,
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it's like not that important, but also it was so weird the way he talked to the press. And one of the biggest difference, besides like the quality of game and everything, is like the different preparation and how you handle being a Major League Baseball manager. And that feels a little bit strange right now. I can't say that I liked what I saw from him talking to the press. It was weird.
No, and he was going at, I believe it was either Andrew Bagley or Susan Slusser. I know Susan was sitting next to him, and those are two of the best beat reporters that we have in the game.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was talking to them about conflicting reports about his decision to come to the Giants, when clearly it did happen. Like,
And-
clearly it did leak.
And who cares? You're there now. Get over it.
It's months later. So my question, similar ilk about just the weirdness around them. What's going on?
Yeah.
As an organization, what's happened here? You put your franchise icon in the general manager seat. You hired a college baseball manager, which I still think probably can and might work to be
Yes.
the manager. It's a strange layout right now. You've signed a bunch of veterans. You made a really fascinating trade last year for one of the better power hitting corner guys in the game. That's the archetype player you couldn't sign to your team. What's going to happen next?
And also, I'd love to sit on a Buster Posey meeting. I got to know what the thought process is there. I'm not quite sure. He's got me in the dark a little bit.
And this will be a big year to see if you could build if any of Buster Posey's team building strategies are working out. Because 2 years in now, you've had put the stamp on the roster. You need to fill out the edges if you want to really compete for 162.
Yeah, because they're solid. They have solid core. It's just like you said, it's the edges that they need to. And can Tony Vitello push those guys forward?
Can Luis Arraez actually play second base? I guess
No,
that's the other
we
one.
know the answer. He can't.
Diamondbacks.
Why is Torey Lovello still your coach?
I mean, come on, that's a cop out.
The Diamondbacks fans hate him. He's been horrible. Even on their runs, the Diamondbacks fans were like, this guy can't make the right decision. The whole Ketel Marte situation also felt weird. I know he had his back, but also kind of let it go a little bit too long. I don't know if he's the guy. And for someone who really has had one successful moment, it is shocking that he's one of the most tenured managers in baseball.
That's true. I do think winning a pennant just allows that to happen.
But
think
how,
about
how many times does he get? Last
think
year,
about
look at the Geraldo Perdomo was an MVP type player.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll was amazing last year. Ketel Marte was amazing last year. I know their pitching got decimated, but you couldn't get to the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, they couldn't get to the playoffs. They had half a roster, basically. Like, you're talking more about the general manager right now and the manager, which is why my question for the Diamondbacks, can you just hold on for the reinforcements?
Yeah.
Because mid-season, and also especially now that we have the back injury cropping up from Merrill Kelly, it seems like he'll be all right. But if you get Corbin Burns back in July, if you get the relievers, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck back maybe a little bit before, suddenly you look like you have a team that can truly compete, at least for a playoff spot. Can you just get yourself there? Because, I don't know, Gallen, sturdy veteran, Ryan Nelson, Warder Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt, Mike Soroka. That's pretty horrible rotation, with all things considered. And the fact that you're gonna have you might play Jordan Lawler in center field, like it's just,
what?
like Carlos Santana is playing the World Baseball Classic with no insurance because he cares that much more about being a backup of the Dominican team, I think, than playing on your team. It's just this is a very strange team. But there's so much talent at the top, and there's so much talent that could return from injury in the exact places they would need it to, theoretically. Can you be 500 on the 4th of July and get yourself there?
Snakes up. Love
Snakes
the
up
Snakes.
always.
But man, what a weird team. Well, I felt so high about them last year. I feel so low about them this year.
Yeah. San Diego Padres.
Who's going to own this team? What's going on with the ownership thing? Because it feels like they kind of can't move forward as an organization until you actually know who's owning it, because they're in such limbo, again, because of what A.J. Preller has done over the last few years and the money that they've given out. They're not really spending. They don't have any prospects really worth a damn to make any moves to go get yet. Because Cruz Schoolcraft's going to be awesome. But, they don't have those guys
Jorge
yet.
Quintana's nice.
And Cash Mayfield, too. I like those guys, but they're not there yet. Are you just going to trade them away and still have no farm system? Who's going to own this team? Because I feel like they can't actually make a decision on what this organization's doing until they know who's owning it.
All right, I like that I went in a very different direction, because the same thing I say about the Padres all the time. The Padres fans hate me for it. How many relievers does it take to win a pennant?
Yeah, it's fair.
Are you going to try this again? Why is this strategy the one that you guys keep going with? It really doesn't feel like it's working. Randy Vasquez hasn't looked that bad in the spring, though, so we'll see. He's throwing 95 right now. Let's see if that one pops out. But it's just this is an incomplete roster. I know there's a great top end here. If they get into a short series, a playoff series, they can definitely make noise with their strategy. But I think this is the year that they might have to actually worry about getting themselves there.
Yeah, which feels different than it has in the past.
Yeah, a bit.
Last team, the Colorado Rockies. James, what do you got for them?
Will you show any progress?
Similar.
Will we see any of the processes, hopefully from a whole new regime taking over this team, led by Paul DePodesta, whatever he might actually have in the tank at this point? Will we see any steps forward, any reasons for any relative optimism whatsoever?
Yeah, mine was, how many computers do you guys have, and did you use those computers? Because we know
Two
that the
big
Rockies,
questions.
Yeah, big ones. They've been using pen and paper. Dick Monfort loves the old school baseball way, and it's clearly not worked out because it's one of the worst organizations in baseball. On a serious note, is Ezequiel Tovar a franchise shortstop? I think this is a big year for him. Defensively, we know he's great, but offensively, he's been very underwhelming the last couple seasons. Dealt with some injuries. He can't strike out 200 times. That just can't happen from a guy who doesn't have elite power.
No, he can't. I mean, also maybe he does have better power than we think. I think he should have a little bit more. It's just I don't know. Someone on that team has to take a step forward and look like they could be a guy.
Yes, because boy, they almost have none.
No, Central or East?
Let's go Central. Put the East to the end. We always put the Central to the end.
I'm down for that. AL Central.
AL Central. I'm going to start with the Twins.
Okay.
Why does every great athlete you guys have get hurt? Walker Jenkins can't stay healthy. When you had Carlos Gray, he was getting hurt. Royce Lewis can't stay healthy. Byron Buxton finally stayed healthy, but has been hurt by injuries his entire career. Emmanuel Rodriguez injuries. All their great athletic players just get hurt. What are you guys doing over there? I think you have to reevaluate how you take care of your players.
Andrew McCutchen just signed with the Rangers.
There we go. Not Latino.
Nice. No, not Latino. Nice one there. But Twins for me, what's the plan here? They were going to be sold. They're not going to be sold. Now I think the young Pollard who wants to actually compete maintained, and now instantly Pablo Lopez and Joe Ryan both injured. So it's like, can you even actually compete? I guess instead of more, what's the plan here to be more serious? Will last year's trade deadline work out? Will the acquisitions of especially Mick Abel and Taj Bradley, who both look nice this spring?
Taj Bradley looks really good.
I'm a big fan of Mick Abel too. Taj Bradley still has the same problem where he doesn't have, it's the Jonah Tong thing where like nothing's moving left. Everything's hard, everything's straight. So it's like, can you get something there? Like even he had a great game on Thursday. I watched a little bit of it against the Yankees. Check stats of it. He's still not missing bats. Mick Abel's the guy who has the depth of a repertoire. I really liked Mick Abel coming up last year. The command's iffy. The fastball velocity waxes and wanes. I think that if one of those guys can be true mid-rotation, now you can start to cook as long as you get these other guys back eventually, I guess. Pablo Lopez going under the knife. But will last year's trade deadline have been worth it?
Probably will.
Probably. We'll see.
Cleveland Guardians. What do you got, James?
This is one I'm watching because probably like you guys, I've been watching a lot of World Baseball Classic already. The opener on Wednesday night, Travis Pizzana launched that home run to kind of put that game. It went from 2-0 to 3-0, but really felt like a punch in the gut for Team Taiwan. Do you actually have enough young hitters to maybe make this lineup tolerable? Because this should be a year where you still have Jose Ramirez. He's still flanked by Steven Kwan. Kyle Manzardo last year proved he could be an above league average hitter against right-handed pitching. If Chase DeLauder and Travis Pizzana are in this lineup, and then maybe Bo Naylor, just a little post-hype, is a league average bat, slightly above league average bat, that shouldn't really be a bad lineup anymore. But can those young players all be good together right now is my question.
Yeah, similar look. How bad of a team can you make the playoffs with? It does feel like they're just trying to see how cheap and how not star. They don't want to put anybody good around Jose Ramirez. They refuse to spend to put guys around Jose Ramirez. So it's like, if those guys don't pan out, like how good do they have to be to actually make the playoffs? That's the next question, because the Central's always so weird, and these Guardians teams have not been very good. We know they're not actual contenders, but they make the playoffs every year. Like, is this legit? Is Stephen Vogt just that guy?
I mean, they win in the margins. They're pitching. They always have another bullpen guy ready to go. Like, they are so good at doing the things that so many other organizations struggle with. The one thing they just don't do, can't do, or won't, like mostly won't do, is just buy premium major league talent, and that's just kind of where they're at. This is where they'll be.
I mean, thank them for that, Francisco Lindor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate that. If he could have signed him.
Kansas City Royals, James. These are your Royals. I'll let you go first.
My Royals. What's going to be the outcome of the new dimensions of Kauffman Field?
Oh, we have the same one. I said, should we have moved in the fences? I think that's the biggest question, because I do think that their pitching at times has gotten a benefit by how big that stadium is. And I wonder if the offensive benefit that they're going to receive is now going to be a negative on the pitching side.
Totally. I was looking into some stuff because I've been doing my fantasy baseball rankings. If you guys want that, check them out on my personal channel. So, Vinny Pasquantino, guess how many opposite field home runs he hit last year?
0.
Bobby Wood Jr., how many opposite field home runs did he hit last year?
0.
He was 3. I don't think 2 of them were not in Kauffman Field, though. So this is a team where I think they're really hoping that moving these fences and benefit their bats. I think they're willing to do that at the possible expense of their rotation. But I think they have a very exciting young core of bats right now.
Yes.
They know Bobby Wood's there forever. Like that, they locked him up. That's good to go. Vinny Pasquantino also, like the steps he made last year, that guy's a ball player. He's a beast. Yes. You guys know how much I've talked about Carter Jensen. We have one more swan song for Salvador Perez. Like Jack Caglianone, it's a big deal this year if he can take a step forward, just be a major league caliber hitter, get away from the Jared Kelenic accusations, which I wouldn't say that, but I've seen some people fantasy baseball Twitter saying that, so I just wanted to bring them up. what's going to happen with these fences? Can you actually be like a team that's ready to mash, or are you actually just ruining your identity and you're going to hurt half of your team without helping the other half of it?
Because the one thing that they have had, great athletes. And I feel like in that ballpark, how big it was, that was a huge advantage that they had. Making it a little bit smaller, you're kind of, I don't want to say limiting what those athletes can do, but it does take away one of your stronger suits to try and help something that was weaker.
It is fun to have an identity, but then the question can be brought up, is this identity actually conducive to consistently winning baseball games?
And that's fair.
And I think that's probably the question they went over this offseason. We're like, all right, maybe let's move these in.
I do trust their front office, though, in that they thought about this and this was the right decision.
I like that their front office seemingly uses a different model than most other teams' front offices, because this was a weird offseason too. We've talked about them a lot. Like, it felt like they might have lost some trades to some sharper teams, but maybe they could pull these things off. They're a team that's going to be fun to watch this year. I think the fences are going to be a centerpiece of their story.
Detroit Tigers. What do you got, James?
I went more specific for this one.
I think we have the same.
Do you have the balls to put Kevin McGonigal in the opening day roster?
Whoa, not the same. Not the same.
Okay. What was yours?
How you feeling? My question was how you feeling, because it's the Tarek Skubal countdown. You're counting down the days. Enjoy it while it lasts. There's a good chance it doesn't last past this year. Are you shitting down your leg right now? Because if I was a Tigers fan, it's got to happen this year because we have no clue what's going to happen in 2027.
At the same time, like, you got a
good
great
org, yeah,
good org. Got great career position players coming up. You just don't have another Tarek Skubal. There really isn't another Tarek Skubal in the league right now. That's why mine was. Are you putting battle to the metal? Like, the way McGonigal's look this spring, the home run he hit against the Dominican team, I was like,
piss rocket.
460. 460. I would have loved to have been sitting in those stands in the top of the first inning when McGonigal put that out in the first pitch. Yeah, Bobby. Like, I just would have loved to hear what they're saying about McGonigal in there. But he looks like he's a true difference maker. He looks like he could step on the field. I don't know how much power and speed we see from him as a rookie, but I could really see, like, 20, like 18, 16, but like still with an 800 OPS.
Fantasy baseball owners are like, get second base eligibility, please.
But he won't, because the team doesn't have a shortstop.
I know, but maybe next year.
Yeah, next year, possibly. League. It's just for him, he's a difference maker your roster desperately needs. Are you ready to push him because this is your last year with Skubal?
Yes, because seemingly he can't stay there unless they're going to give him the most money ever as a pitcher, and that seems unlikely the way they've been moving.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if Elich can do it. He can follow in his dad's footsteps of giving this team a top 5 payroll in the league.
Last team, Chicago White Sox. I'm sorry, White Sox fans. I'm doing this to you already. When do you trade Munetaka Murakami?
Stop.
When do you do it? Because if there's a world where he lights the league on fire, where we just might see crazy power. There's a wide range of outcomes. But at some point, does he become too valuable to a team on a short-term contract where you've got to move him because you might just get some pieces back? Because if he is that true power hitter at that first base / DH position, I think you could get a lot back for a guy like that.
I don't know. We've seen the last few years this archetype of player not get a ton back a lot. Like, it's not like he's on a great long-term contract anyway. Like, you only have him for one more year if you do trade for him. So my question was more so, can Montgomery and Murakami, and I throw Kyle Teel into that mix too, like, can these guys be a little bit of a core? Like, can you have 3 legit hitters here? Like, can those guys combine for 100 home runs and a cumulative 820 OPS?
So that'd be what, like 30? 100's a lot. I don't think
it would be 40-40-20 almost.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know about that one. But, like, I like that spin because yours is the positive. I'm just thinking that that the White Sox are not going to be a legit team this year. Like, even if all the things do go right, they're probably still in that 70-win range, best outcome. But, like, man, do you just cash in Murakami right now? Especially because we know that the White Sox ownership, Reinsdorf, like, he's cheap. He's going to be a big guy pushing the lockout. Try and get rid of him because you might not ever get him to play again after this season for your team.
We saw first base musical chairs this offseason. I don't know which team is actually giving them enough for Murakami. There would be like, yeah, let's just trade the one thing that people might actually come to the ballpark and be excited about.
That is the biggest question mark, is what does a first baseman like that get?
It's a team like that's always going to think about that. But him, Montgomery, and again, throw Kyle Teel in there. Like, is this the beginnings of a core?
And if we're going to add it, like, I want to see some of those young pitchers come up. I'm excited to see what those guys can do.
Oh, like who? Like Hagen Smith,
Noah Schultz. Like, I want to see those guys.
So bad last year in the minors.
Yeah, but that's a weird thing. They still did good things. They still have good stuff.
Hagen Smith got cut in one of my dynasty leagues where I was like, whoa,
that's an interesting one.
It's a 20-team league with 45
man rosters.
He got cut in a. You have to cut 17 every offseason. He was one of the cuts.
All right. That's fine.
That's what I'm saying. But I was like, he's a guy I actually wanted to probably take a shot on because it feels like, and again, do we see Braden Montgomery this year? Like
He's so good.
Like he's fun, but talk about a wide range of outcomes. Like he's the same as all the rest of them. Like this team needs to get more Chase Mystros, maybe.
I don't know about that. Let's not go there.
They need something maybe in between these two.
Yes.
These two archetypes of players. All right, NL Central.
Which team? You start. You pick the teams this time.
All right, let me go Cubs first. I got to go one for the Cubs. We get accused of being Cubs haters on this channel. It's not that we're Cubs haters. It's that it's just you guys kind of are what you are. So my question, what do you honestly think a playoff series against the Dodgers looks like?
Well, that's similar to mine. I said, are you actually good? Like, we know you're good, but are you actually good?
Do you feel like you can go toe-to-toe with them? I think just especially based on floor, and we did this in our floor video like a month ago now, if you guys want to check that out. We had them as the second highest floor in the National League, and I think I'm very comfortable saying that. Once the ceiling discussion comes into play, a couple other teams probably have better 90th percentile outcomes than the Cubs, but if I had to wager right now, the Cubs have winning the NL Central and being lined up for either a 5 or 7 game series against the Dodgers. Can you go toe-to-toe with them at all?
Yeah, they're over-under right now. I know this isn't about gambling here, but it's kind of low. Like, I think, had more wins last year than what their over-under is this year, and that's with the Brewers winning 98 games, and I think the Cubs are better and the Brewers are worse. Like, to me, they're a very obvious good team, but like you said, can you beat the Dodgers? How good are you? How good is this Cubs team? We know how... Is this going to sound crazy? We know how bad they are. Their bad is good, but how good is their good?
Yes, great floor. We still need to know about their ceiling. Similarly, the Brewers, where's the magic at?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like kind of my questions. Like you last year were the best story for most of the season. You guys probably went to that Dodgers series being like, you know what? Why not us? And you were close a little bit.
And then we saw why not.
And they blew your doors off. And then this offseason, you objectively got worse. So it's like, what's the plan? Can you still be great? And all kind of wrapped in all of this, like, is Jackson Chourio, can he be like an inner circle superstar?
Yeah, my question was, do I actually need to care about you? I'm kind of getting Brewers fatigue a little bit, where it's almost to the level of the Rays, where it's
I was literally about to say, is that how you used to feel about the Rays?
It's just, I'm getting a little Brewers fatigue. I still think they're a good team. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're the second best team in the Central. Like, it's not about what this team will be. It's, can you do anything more to make me care? Because truthfully, if you're just going to be an NLDS, NLCS team and get absolutely trounced every year in those rounds, like, when are you going to take that next step? I'm kind of bored of the Brewers right now. I respect the organization, bored of how they perform.
I mean, there's a world where, like, Jackson Chourio could become Julio Rodriguez.
Totally.
And Miz could be, like, the shit.
And does that actually change what they do, though, in the season? I don't know.
No, it's not. It's like this. I said this all of last year. Like, this is suddenly a very fun group of position players. But without Freddie Peralta at the top of the rotation, it's like you feel like you are missing something.
They have no punch right now. They have no punch.
They might have punch, though, because I still think Chourio, Contreras, Yelich is punch. And, like, I think last year Bryce Terang was punch. If you could do that again, it's very punchy. It's just...
They live in that, like, 8th to 10th best team in range right now, and they live there hard.
I mean, it is very 2018, 2019, 2020 Razian.
Yes.
Kind of the same vibe. Maybe that's why I'm also like, if you do have magic, if you could actually do that again, if they win 90 games again this season, after what happened this offseason, then I'll be like, wow, like that's a true stamp.
I need to see them beat somebody good in the postseason.
Yeah, that's fair. Were the Cubs good last year?
No, I don't think so. I mean, me and you, we dog the Cubs now, and they're actually way better than they were, I think, last year.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's true. Cardinals.
What young players are worth keeping? That's going to be a serious one. Of like all the guys that they brought in, I do think every single pitcher that they traded for outside of Senja, I think there's a good chance that those guys could even be moved at this trade deadline. Because like if you get value for them, you probably should cash in. Because I don't think any of them will ever be frontline starters. And then we have the conversation of real meta here, real bringing it back to the Mets. It's like you held on to David Peterson for this long. Like, should we have cashed in on him when we know he's never going to be that frontline guy? That might be what the Cardinals are doing, is who's actually going to be a part of this future? Because I do trust in Chaim Bloom to build a good organization. We're seeing it with the Red Sox now. Can he do that with the Cardinals? Who are the guys that are going to stick around?
I still think they'll keep these guys through rookie contracts. This was a little bit talk about meta. This was more meta. This is especially more meta for any Cardinals fans that might be listening to this or watching this. Are we in Spotify yet or no?
We might, at this point.
We could be.
We could be. Keep an eye out.
It'll be there soon. Do you know how to suck, Cardinals fans?
No, they don't.
You guys get a lot of the credit for being the best fans in baseball. One of my managers at Row the World, he's a Cardinals fan. He was like, it's going to be a rough year for us. Might be pulling for you guys. I'm like, oh, no, you guys are going to have a second bad year in a row. Could you even imagine that? Like, is that stadium going to be empty? Like, are people not going to be into it? Like, it's difficult to go through a rebuild in baseball. Every other fan base in the league, besides the Yankees, we've all gone through it.
Yeah, prove to us you're the best fans in baseball.
Over the last 10 years, every single team has gone through some kind of bad stretch besides the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Yankees, right? Am I missing anybody?
And the Astros prior to that did go through a stretch of being the worst team in baseball for a while.
And the 20 or 30 Dodgers fans that are still there that were a fan like in the late 90s, early 2000s, they went through some hell as well. But like all these new Dodgers fans, just like Kobe Bryant fans, we'll see about that. But can you guys be mentally okay with sucking? Because I'm curious to see how that comes out for the Cardinals fans this year.
It's a big year, too, for a lot of the fringe guys where it's like, is Jordan Walker going to ever be a good baseball player again? Like
Jordan Walker, Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, like what's the deal with these guys? Where are they going? What are we doing with them?
Nolan Gorman. I'm excited to see J.J. Weatherholt. He's fun, but like it's going to be interesting.
Next team,
Cincinnati Reds.
Okay. What the fuck is your plan?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing? I have no idea what the Cincinnati Reds plan is, and it sucks that Hunter Green looks like he might miss some time because they so desperately need him to have any sort of chance, I feel like, this year. I know they still have Chase Burns who can step in and be an ace. We know he's that good.
Be Hunter Green.
Yeah, he could be Hunter Green, but like, what is the plan here? I can't really figure it out.
No, I can't really either. I think that's fair. I was going to talk about Hunter Green a little bit. Like, will you ever just throw a 96 instead of 100? It's not like his put up or shut up time, but does Ellie have the step in him still? I believe he does. I think there's every indication that he does. There's enough weirdness in his profile, especially the really strange splits. The fact that last year, once he got the plate discipline much more in check, he couldn't marry it with what was once some of the best raw power we thought in the entire league. Are you ready, Ellie De La Cruz, to do the thing that Bobby Wood Jr. just did? Can you be a top tier guy? Can you be an MVP candidate? Can you flirt with like 7, 8, 9 wins above replacement? Like, is that in your future?
If Terry Francona gets this team to the playoffs without Hunter Green being there for a good chunk of the year, I mean, he's in the GOAT conversation for sure as manager. Like, damn, he's got that sauce.
He's close to it anyway. Pittsburgh Pirates, your Pirates.
I think the only thing I can talk about is Paul Skeens' extension. Is he staying or is he going? That's all I'm thinking about with the Pirates.
Extension.
I know he's not signing one, but like it would be really cool in a world where I know the Pirates are never going to spend like the top teams and it's going to be impossible, but like if there was ever a player for them to be like, here's the money, it's Paul Skeens. Keep him around. I want to see Bob Nutting. He's their owner, right? Bob Nutting, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to see Bob Nutting put up or shut up right now. They put together a better team. Throw Paul Skeens a silly amount of money. Sell the team if you can't afford it.
I think almost completely dissimilarly. If there's a player to do this with, I think it actually might be Connor Griffin.
But that's the jump early. Paul Skeens, he's already hit it. Like Connor Griffin, you give him the Bobby Witt Jr. contract and say, please take it.
Yeah, like that's the thing there. So that's why my question for the Pirates is a two-parter. One, just thinking about Skeens and how high we both are on Connor Griffin. Do you realize what's in front of you right now?
Yeah.
You could be living in a world for the next 3 years or 4 years because you have Paul Skeens in the team for 4 more years. You could have the best pitcher, one of the best position players in the sport at the same time on your team. Like you can actually do that. Like if
are you just the Angels or are you going to be something different?
Like are you ready to put in everything around these two guys to turn this franchise into what should be a perpetual winner? And that's why part 2. Do you understand defense?
Doesn't feel like it.
This season, I think maybe this might have been a concerted thing by them this offseason, but like we just want the bats, we don't care, we know our staff is good. This might flirt with being one of the worst defensive teams in the history of the sport.
Thank God for Jared Triolo.
Thank God for Jared Triolo. But like the fact that they even like put Marcell Ozuna, criminal, on top of everything else, so you can't even rotate all of these piss poor defenders around DH is like Brandon Lyle's gonna be one of the worst second base defenders in the league. O'Neal Cruz, unless he has a big step in him, which maybe he does.
That fly ball the other day.
Yeah, I'll never quit that. But like he could be a bad center field defender for sure. Ryan O'Hearn every single day in right field, probably going to be an adventure. Like Brian Reynolds is like he's a fine outfielder. Spencer Horowitz is not exactly known for his glove. Like if Connor Griffin's not playing shortstop, Nick Gonzalez will be. Like
and he stinks defensively.
You really built this team. You got enough bats to make this lineup feel, I would say, above average now at this point, especially with Hope and Connor Griffin is ready to rumble. can you play any level of defense whatsoever?
My second question will also be, how much money do you have? That's what I want. How much
Just in
money you
general?
got? How much? How much?
How much
Can
you got? Your pocket watcher?
Yeah, I'm a pocket watcher for this team because, like you said, you might have two of the best young players in all of Major League Baseball. How much money you got?
How much money you got? I mean, probably more than people believe, but it's
Probably
just,
more than everybody watching this video combined.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, maybe. I mean, if anyone got $100 million in their account, comment below on that so we know if we can stack it together and get ahead of Bob Nothing. But I'd say under.
American League East, right? That was it for the NL Central.
Yeah,
Let's go to the Yankees.
have to.
These are your Yankees, so I'll let you go first.
Do you have it in you?
That's
it.
I think we kind of. I mean, it's true though. It's the exact same team. Do you have it in you?
Do you have it in you? Like Aaron Judge talking to the media about being disappointed, basically the same team's coming back, and like, are you ready to go? Like, there's nothing stopping this team from winning a World Series but themselves. Like, based on the talent, the caliber of the players, the depth of the organization, it's like there's no excuse. There's really no issue here.
That's
why can't you do this?
That's why mine is, are you savages in the box?
There you
It's
go.
to
That's
quote
true.
the great coach, one of the best Yankee managers ever do it, Aaron Boone. Are you savages in the box? He says he's got savages in the box, but every time the lights come on, they're just a little too bright for this team. They cannot step up when they need to. And you know who did? He's not there anymore. It's Juan Soto. Don't forget that.
What's going to happen with this team? I guess another side question is where is Jason Dominguez?
What is he doing?
I just don't know what the plan's going to be there. Like, are Jason Dominguez and Anthony Volpe going to be playing in AAA this year? Because that's going to be like take a drive out. That's Scranton, right?
They'll be Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, so that's like that's a weird subplot happening with this Yankee season. But like, do you have it in you?
Is Dax Kilby better than Anthony Volpe right now? No.
No, I don't think so. It was George Lombard. Again, I don't think so. But there's a question some people will be asking themselves in May.
My last one will be, will a prospect pan out for the Yankees?
Will a prospect? Yeah, Ben Rice already panned out.
Yeah, he's turned to, what is he, 27?
Ben Rice is awesome. Yeah, his film is not. I think he turned 27 like this week.
Oh, okay, that's actually pretty funny.
I think it was just his birthday. Oh no, it was last month, February.
They love their old prospects, the Yankees.
Yeah, watch out for Ernesto Martinez. He might be the next Ben Rice.
Okay.
6'7" first baseman. They pulled up from the Brewers organization last year, being AAA.
Let's go to the 6. Toronto Blue Jays. My question: you're actually like really good, right? Like you guys are actually really good, right?
It's a leading question.
Yeah, just kind of make me feel better that I'm believing in you again. Because the last time I believed in the Blue Jays, they finished in last place. Make me feel confident in my belief that they're a good team.
Something happens to teams like the Blue Jays who go on the magical run the season before. That's never that team's fault, but it happens with the fans. We've seen this happen twice with the Mets within the last 4 years, where after 2022, heading in 2023, people like won 100 games last year. We better win 100 again. That's not realistic. And then 2 years ago, like we made the NLCS, we got Juan Soto. Now we should go further. It's also not how it works. So in air quotes, are you better than you were last year? Like you might not go as far as last year just because last year was miraculous and beautiful, and like
It's hard to go back to the World Series.
I'm saying that was probably one of the best sports watching experiences any of you Blue Jays fans had in your entire life.
Well,
I could say, I mean, the Argonauts, of course, but
no, I was gonna say Joe Carter. I mean,
I'm saying a lot. I think a lot that was 30 years ago at this point.
Might be 40.
Like, I mean, you get like, Kawhi on the Raptors for sure. I'm sure you guys watched the Maple Leafs, so we won't rehash that. But Austin Matthews, that guy's a big time, definite winner.
Go USA.
Are you better than last year? Like, can you actually be a better team? I don't know if you'll go further, but did you get better this offseason?
Because that's really all you can control is being better. You can't really control how actually far you go in the postseason.
Especially with how much just beauty and perfect magic helped with that team last year. How much fun it was just to watch you guys and like watch the team coalesce. Like, is there still a step within you?
Yeah, because I like that we're kind of on the same page with them. We know they're good, but like, how much gooder?
How much gooder? It's
How
just
much
like,
gooder?
It's really difficult to recapture a vibe sometimes. That's one of the most difficult things to do in baseball.
But maybe they got
it. Maybe they do. Maybe they just have the magic. So that's what we have to look for.
Boston Red Sox, James, what do you got?
This is a weird one. Did you accomplish the goals that you set out to do over the last year? Because a year ago right now, the Rafael Devers drama was like starting to get pretty weird.
Yes.
And that drama began because you value defense so much that you went out and signed Alex Bregman to a huge contract. You gave up a draft asset and made him either one of or the highest paid third baseman of the year on a per annual basis. Then you traded Devers for nothing just to get off that contract and get him out of your clubhouse. Then you took the only actual tangible piece you got for Rafael Devers and you traded him for a half season of really, really bad Dustin May, who did nothing for you. And then this offseason, you did not get a bat, but you slammed the rotation, and you got better on defense, especially with a guy like Caleb Durbin. Did you accomplish your goals over the last 12 months? Was there a plan in place, or are you guys just kind of running around like chickens without heads?
Sometimes it feels like that. But you can see the Red Sox plan. I just don't know if it is the plan that I would have executed. Again, I'm high on the Red Sox. I think they're going to be great this year. My biggest concern with them, and that's what's going to be my question, is what star player does Craig Breslow trade this year? Because it just
Roman Anthony, there's no one left.
Yeah, it seems like surely one of Duran or Willier is going to get traded at some point, because you kind of can't have these 4 guys all hanging around. But also, should you trade them? And then, are you going to trade them low like you did with Rafael Devers? It's so weird, and he's one of the few executives where I don't think anybody on the planet knows what he is going to do at any given moment, because that Rafael Devers trade happened at the absolute strangest time of the season. Not even trade
Father's
deadline.
Day.
Yeah, it happened on Father's Day. Should have been busy hanging out with his dad, but instead he went and made the trade. He's a wild card. And you mentioned that Dustin May trade for James Tibbs, which, I mean, even if James Tibbs doesn't turn out to be a star, if he just goes to the major leagues, what a horrible trade. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what Craig Breslow's plan is all the time.
I think this Red Sox organization, not specifically speaking about Breslow, I do think Breslow does a lot of things well as a lead executive in an organization. I think they're very smart.
Yes.
Org. I think their development is really good. Their professional development, especially with what they've done with pitchers over the last few years. I wonder if there's organizational hubris here. It was a funny offseason for them. But also you get into a playoff series, you have Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez, best playoff pitcher ever, Sonny Gray, and then if any of the other guys pop up after that,
Bayo was great.
You also Oviedo looks really good in the spring. The pitch shapes look awesome. Connolly Early and Peyton Tolley both look like legit dudes, total dudes. To the point where it's wow, you kind of box these guys out for making a big impact this year. People will get hurt, of course, that's how it goes. And then even the next year, Jake Bennett. I know our friend Matt,
98.
Our friend Matt Eddy loves Jake Bennett. He thinks he's going to definitely be a converted major league starter. And Kyson Witherspoon, they got in the draft last year, probably his top 5 stuff in all of the minor leagues. Even Gage Zeal, the very not talked about prospect they got for Jordan Hicks, also has very fun pitch specs. They have something they're doing really well here, but they have 9 caliber major league pitchers and 6 caliber major league offensive players.
Yeah, and 4 of them play the same position.
What was the goal? Do you feel like you accomplished it?
I think they're trading Tristan Casas surely this year, right?
I guess they might need his bat.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just saying, I don't know where the power is coming from in this lineup. I want to see it. And I do like Caleb Durbin, and another side quest for them. What's going to happen to Christian Campbell?
Yes, and Marcelo Meyer, those 2 guys, truthfully.
Yeah, but at least Marcelo Meyer looks like he has a spot on opening day. Christian Campbell, I don't know.
No clue. They desperately want a second baseman, and they didn't even want to play him after they gave him money.
No, those are 2 guys who Campbell was considered a chance to be the number 1 overall prospect in baseball a year ago. What's going to happen with those 2?
Baltimore Orioles. What do you got, James?
This was kind of much more simple. It's just, do you actually have enough pitching to go on a run?
And mine is similar. I said, who the fuck pitches if you make the playoffs? What is your playoff rotation? Kyle Bradish is awesome. Trevor Rogers has looked good, although I think he got shelled in his last start. But, that's not a playoff rotation.
It's a peaceful playoff rotation. I think Bradish can be a 1. I think the way we saw
I see
Bradish,
him more as a good 2 than a real 1.
I think he could be a very good 2, but I think there's a world where, and it could go both ways. We could be in June and be you don't want to see Kyle Bradish, or it could be June and be I can't believe Kyle Bradish is hurt again.
But then who's after him?
I think Trevor Rogers is a tolerable 2 in a playoff rotation. I think
that good enough?
You guys yell at us about Trevor Rogers slander all the time. Never actually slander him. It's just want to make sure it's real. The fact that he's holding 93s in the spring
is nice.
I'm confident that he did get over a hump with his velocity, and now just look at that changeup. It's so nasty always. It's about Boz. It's all about Boz.
Yeah.
You made a big trade to get a guy who there's still a lot of questions about what the future holds for him. He's had injuries in his past, inconsistency as recently as last year. A lot of this organization is riding on Shane Boz's right arm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole thing is right now. He could be, talk about playoff rotation. I could see a world this year where Shane Boz is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5.
Bullpen, yeah.
Yeah, anything kind of, probably not or injured again. His wide range of outcomes. But I guess they're fine with that right now. And again, there's another side plot. Where's Jackson Holiday going to be here?
And what was his year going to look like? Because he doesn't have that much power, and he has the hamate injury, which saps your power. Does he hit double-digit home runs?
He's been he's been seemingly trying to figure out if he wants to go to the power route or the contact route. Where last year he took a little bit off his swing and he did increase his contact rate, but his own contact rate was still low, and he was just getting eaten alive because he was trying to go kind of half oppo, use a power alley in left center in Camden Yards, and then that's not really good for a left-handed hitter or right-handed hitter in that ballpark. I don't know. He's still so young. Like there's still a lot ahead of Jackson Holiday, but like I don't know if there's any superstardom left in that future right now.
Yeah, I wish he would go back.
Might be harsh, but yeah.
Wish he went back to the violent, aggressive swing he had when he was coming up. Like he was just taking war hacks, and maybe it's just he's overmatched. Major League Baseball is really hard.
Yeah, maybe also he just has to get himself into a spot mentally where he has to understand how to make the contact and get to a major league at bat, and then he can take the war hacks again. It's all push and pull. He's very young. There's so much pedigree there, but like does Jackson Holiday ever have a 6-win season?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, number one overall prospect, you kind of expect like superstar level production. I'm curious if that comes.
Tampa Bay Rays, last team in the AL East. My question is the Trop hurting or helping your team's success? I want to see what the Trop does. We saw them play in a minor league stadium. It hurt their pitchers. We've seen them play in the Trop before, and it hurt their hitting. What's the deal? You're back in the Trop. How does it look?
Similarly, how actually close are you to competing again? Like, the Rays have seemed to do the same thing again, where they consolidated as much major league talent as they could. They built up tons of depth in their minor league system. They lost someone who they thought would have been someone that helped them compete forever.
I think us as well.
If you think about who could have been standing next to each other in the infield right now, you probably are like, that would have been a pair for the next decade here. But it's that the reality is the reality. Does this system still work? Do you actually have enough with the way that you have built a team, as long as you've built a team, to get over the hump again and get back into what is such a good division of teams that don't look like any of them are going anywhere?
I think that's why I'm like so interested in the Trop, because I'm like, is this why the Rays have also seemingly made pitchers out of nowhere sometimes? Because it's such a hard park to hit in for opposing teams.
No, for sure. And like looks like their pitching staff should be good this year. Really
should be pretty good.
We actually saw McClanahan pitch in the spring, which is awesome. Happy for him. He's going to build up slowly, but like even 60% of the old McClanahan that we used to see, Rasmussen and Pepe on McClanahan, it's a good 3. That's a 3 that could easily get you through. And like Nick Martinez and Matz are veterans. I can't believe Steven Matz is 35 years old. Imagine that. Steven Matz 35 years old. And then like Ian Seymour and Joe Boyle, like couldn't be two more different pitchers, but like you saw plenty of flashes last year from those guys. Like where Brody Hopkins looks like the next animal. From the Randy Rosarena trade. Like he looks like he'll probably be ready. He'll definitely debut at some point this season. But is your way of doing things, is it still functional?
I think that's a fair question.
Yeah.
Lead us, James, with the NL East last division.
Gotta go to the Mets.
Of course. It's a Mets channel, apparently.
Wait, there's 51 minutes to talk about the Mets, so here you guys go. Is this gonna work?
Yeah, it's a fair question.
Gonna work?
Yeah, it's a good one. What's going on?
Yeah. Is the bullpen going to be okay? That's a more specific one. Can you make a bunch of guys play different positions all at the same time?
Yeah, I kind of figured that you were going to go that route, so I went a little bit more WFAN caller. Is Carlos Mendoza the right manager? Is he the right guy to lead this team?
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's a real question. He was so good in 2024. He was so bad last year. You know how we hear all these rumors about what the locker room's going on? That's a direct correlation to Carlos Mendoza didn't have shit under control.
Yeah, especially with this many new pieces coming in, that's a real locker room reset, and it's also probably a bit of a managerial reset. The Mets also invested a lot in their coaching staff this offseason. They brought up Gilbert Gomez from the minor leagues, who was a close personal friend of Juan Soto. He was the coach of the Brooklyn Cyclones. Now he's going to be the outfield coach for the Mets. That's a potential. See in the league as a manager in waiting. They grabbed Kai Correa off the Guardian staff. Used to be with the Giants. Guy looks like a manager in waiting. Like there's a crew here now. And it seems like a lot of people might be gunning for that seat if Carlos Mendoza can't handle it.
Definitely one of the more exciting managerial things to watch if you're a manager in waiting of like, how can I get in this organization just so that if he's gone, I can take over?
And then this Mets team is just like, you look so good on paper.
So good on paper.
Really good on paper. And what's going to happen? Like other more side questions because we just have him like, Luis Robert.
Hey, what's your deal?
You going to play? You gonna do it? You going to do it?
Stretch water?
Nolan McLean, like is there another step in there? Like Bo Bichette playing third base? Could this just be Bo Bichette's future? Yeah. Does Marcus Semien have anything left in the tank? Francisco Alvarez and Brett Baty, is there another big step for those guys? Like lots of fun questions for this Mets team.
So many fun questions. It's so fun being a Mets fan.
If we listed every question we have for all these teams, the Mets might have had the most questions.
Yeah, which is always really exciting to go into as a fan for the season.
Yeah, Phillies.
Can frat boys win a World Series?
Yeah, good one. Similar. Does bloodletting work?
Yeah, or is raw milk worth it?
Basic one. Is Bryce Harper elite?
Is he healthy?
Uh,
Is he okay? This team they're just running it back again, which is always so dangerous and arguably worse than they were last year while with losing Ranger Suarez. I know Zach Wheeler looks like he's going to pitch, but again, it's dangerous, I think, with the injuries that he's had of what you can actually really rely on is questionable. And they just ran back the same team. They've gotten worse and worse every year in terms of playoff outcomes. Like, why are you trying to just make this work? It seems like they're trying to fit a square puzzle piece into like a round peg. Or a round... Well, I said it wrong.
Yeah, square peg into a round hole.
Yep.
It's because you look at this roster, you're like, oh, these guys should be ready to go. They just haven't. And sometimes, I mean, in baseball, in sports in general, like, yeah, keep
Huge
trying.
they got rid of Castellanos, though. After we hear all that stuff, he was a problem.
Yeah, and we've seen Andrew Painter, like, pitching, be healthy, but not look like he had the same stuff that he had pre-surgery. It's kind of a scary thing for them. Like, you have the two lefties at the top. Like, I mean, it's crazy that we have two of the best rotations in baseball have these pairs of lefties at the top. They're just unbelievable.
So
Sanchez,
good.
Luzardo, Skubal, and Framber. But, like, Jesus Luzardo's been healthy 2 times in his career.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot relying on Jesus Luzardo heading into the season. Maybe he is, and if he's healthy, he will be one of the 15, 20 or so best pitchers in the league. We saw that last year for sure. But the edges of this team do not look great right now, and I wonder if they have enough to weather any storm they might get.
Yeah, they have quite literally zero depth.
Yeah. Similarly, the Atlanta Braves.
Was 2025 a fluke?
Yeah.
Are they good? People around baseball and even ourselves know that this team should be better than they were last year. Again, I said that they were going to finish in third, and that was kind of like a little tongue-in-cheek of just they didn't get any better, so I think they're going to take a step back. Didn't expect to be in the way that it was. It was spectacular to see the Braves just suck start to finish, which was so cool. I hope they get off to a god-awful start again, and I hope it derails their season, but they shouldn't be that bad. So was this a fluke, or was the Whistler in 2021 a real thing?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be asking that question the rest of our lives. So mine was similarly, like, can you avoid another disaster? Like, things are already really going wrong for the Braves, and the games haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
Like, you've already lost multiple pitchers. Jurickson Profar did steroids again.
Idiot.
Like, it's kind of a joke right now.
Spencer Strider
with
looks
this team.
bad.
He got back to 95 on Thursday, so at least we're seeing the velocity be there, which is a nice thing for him, something he needs. But maybe also here's a philosophical thing. Like, did you give out way too many extensions?
Maybe. Because it did lock up that roster in a weird way.
I think even still right now. I mean, Austin Riley's on a 10-year deal.
That's so long.
Like, think about that for a second. Like, Matt Olson, 8-year deal. Like, Austin Riley signed till 2032. And I think Austin Riley's still quite good. But
Yes.
the last few years, some doubt has definitely seeped in. Like, Sean Murphy is the highest paid backup catcher in baseball.
By a lot.
Sean Murphy still has 4 years and $60 million left on his club.
Maybe the Braves just love paying a backup catcher, because remember when Travis D'Arnaud was the highest paid backup catcher. So
again, like, a lot of these contracts still look good. Like, even if Michael Harris held the bat upside down, like, I still think paying him like $8 million a year for his defense is good. You're not really losing a lot of surplus value on that. But did you maybe over-index how valuable it was to put this whole core together? Because you're not developing. You trade any half-decent prospect you have. Like, Schwellenbach was kind of your miracle, and he looks like roast beef right now, sadly. But also, he was a college reliever who had arm issues in the past, like, who you rushed to the major leagues. Like, organization, philosophically, this organization is at a crossroads right now. And if you have another disaster, like, Alex Anthopoulos might not be able to spend 3 months at Santorini next winter.
no, I think he's got to be on the chopping block if they have another disaster, surely. Especially when one of the big pieces that they brought in the last 2 years just keeps getting popped for cheating.
It's the only piece you brought in the last 2 years. Like, let's be realistic about
What about
this
Mike
right now.
Yastrzemski? You're not talking about him?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Yastrzemski at least is like he's at least a fine Major League Baseball player.
Dom Smith, DH?
This team is very caught in between themselves right now, and the core is still really good. And if Chris Sale's pitching, I still believe in the team, the rotation, everything. Another disaster though. You people are gonna start to look around.
Yeah, it's almost the Step Brothers meme of like the suits. Like they're a little weird now.
It's got a lot of money tied up to a core that's similarly hasn't won much.
What do you got for the next team, James?
Nationals.
You go first.
Is James Wood a true franchise player?
Ooh, okay.
I think he is skill-wise, but the way we saw James Wood fall off the second half last year and just seeing the way, especially some of the Nationals beat reporters have been writing about James Wood, people who cover the team, kind of start to give the disinterested tag that was on him through last July, August, September. He pulled the nose back up, but like I know the whole Miguel Cairo probably wasn't the right fit for that roster at the time. Now you have a whole new regime coming in. It looks like they're doing a lot of smart things on the edges already. Seems like we're going to see some actual development for the Nationals, which is a big deal for them. But is James Wood going to be your nucleus? Is he going to be your guy in the center of it all? Talent-wise, I know he is that, and I won't chastise a rookie for just losing the focus physically, mentally a little bit those last few months. But you can't do that again.
Do they restart the rebuild? That's my question. And I know that sounds crazy, but
I think obviously, right?
But yeah, they kind of have to. Like this
they already did. They traded Mackenzie Gore.
I know, and then do you keep going? Like where do you stop? Because they're not. This is so messed up, and I'm so sorry to Nationals fans for saying this, but just hear me out. If your core is James Wood, like right now their core is James Wood, C.J. Abrams. That's just not good enough to even be the fourth best team in this division. So what's the plan to fill in around this core? Because I know Dylan Cruz was supposed to be part of that, but he's looked awful, and you need to see him step up this year. You've got no pitching that's really MLB ready right now to help at all. Like where does it come from? And at this point,
don't say anything about Cade Cavalli.
I love Cade Cavalli. You know that's my boy. Shout out Cade Cavalli. He's going to have a big year. Foolish Baseball, one of his top 5 breakout pitchers. But, like, are you at a point now where you might have to consider starting over? Because by the time that this next fleet of young prospects you have come up, James Wood and C.J. Abrams are probably going to be gone. And then you're just kind of stuck in the same place you are right now.
Well, James Wood, C.J. Abrams are on very different timelines. James Wood's played 1 full season in the major league. C.J. Abrams entering his 4th right now.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying is like, when do the next guys come up realistically? Like, they're far away.
I have a hypothesis about C.J. Abrams right now. I think that this Nationals new front office was dying to trade him this offseason.
It seems like that.
I got no sources. I got no knowledge on this. It's just based on the vibe and like everything it felt like around this team. But I think that a lot of other teams in the league would probably say 3 things if you ask for a haul for C.J. Abrams. It's all overarched by the main question: why are we giving you a haul for C.J. Abrams? Because this has been a player who's been inconsistent at the plate, bad on defense, and a question mark off the field,
unfocused.
So why I like will a playoff team be giving up a fleet of talent for C.J. Abrams to be their shortstop? Probably not. And I think that in a perfect world, I think this Nationals team will almost not even want to play him as shortstop anymore. I think they would almost want to move him off there, see if he could be a plus second baseman, similar to what they're doing with Luis Garcia right now, because he's going to move to first base this year.
Crazy.
Which is hilarious, honestly. I think Luis Garcia's going to mash. But you can't really trade C.J. Abrams anymore if you move him off shortstop. So you need to try your hardest to see if he can handle it defensively, alleviate 1 or possibly 2 of those questions if the bat can take a step, and then move him at the deadline. But I think right now that they're in a big pickle with C.J. Abrams, and I think that they would like to trade him. But James Wood is... That's why my question is all about James Wood. Like, are you going to be the straw that stirs the drink here?
Because, like, I get it. He is, in my opinion, he is someone you build around. I don't know what the pieces are that you build around, because even when you look at this farm system, it's like, this is what you got for being one of the worst teams in baseball. I don't think they have even close to a top half farm in baseball.
No, I mean, I think they're in 2 years. I think they will. We like a lot of the low key prospects in the system. Ethan Petrie, it's Brian Peterson's other fun outfielder they drafted last year.
Because like
Sam Peterson.
Because man, looking up and down this roster, like I guess they're still hoping that Brady House figures it out, and they're hoping that Dalen Lyle.
I think they're all right with that.
He's 22. I guess they're going to give him another look, right? I like Dalen Lyle. I hope he builds on this year.
Remember Elijah Green?
Do I remember Elijah Green? Of course I remember Elijah Green. But, like, oh, man, Nasim Nunez is going to get, like, 500 plate appearances this year? Are we serious?
Yeah. Nasim Nunez right now is a hot topic in fantasy baseball about how good he is in a 15-team league.
I'll tell you how good he is. Not very good.
He's going to steal 30 bags for sure.
Oh, God, that's why I hate fantasy baseball so much.
Well, that kind of fantasy baseball, I understand that. But last team, Miami Marlins.
Your Marlins.
Marlins.
You want to go last for this one?
Let me go first, because I think this is the question that everyone should have about the Marlins. Like, did you actually build something last year? Was last year a complete fluke where it just kind of clicked for a little while, just you had some fun, or did you actually put some culture together? Because I trust the coaches there. I trust what they're doing developmentally. I really trust the process that Peter Bendix has been working with since he's been there 3 years now. I think he's entering his 3rd year right now.
Believe so.
Did you actually get over some kind of hurdle last year, or was it just 2 months of nothing? Baseball doesn't mean anything. 3 months.
My question was, are you the new Rays? Because we know Peter Bendix came from them. Are they the new Rays? We saw Kyle Stowers. That's such an insane, massive W for player development, what Kyle Stowers did. Jacob Marcy looks legit. Can you do it now with Owen Casey? Can you do it with Griffin Conine? Can you get Augustine Ramirez to actually be a better than league average hitter? Can you learn how to play a position? That's going to be huge for his development. On the pitching side, obviously you have Yuri Perez, but like Chris Paddock, Max Meyer, Braxton Garrett are fun tests for this Marlins pitching development. Something that they kind of seem like they might be figuring out in the minors, but at the major league level, still very iffy, still very questionable. Are they the new Rays?
It's going to be Robbie Snelling time very soon. He looks nasty in the spring again on Thursday. I'm excited for that one.
Like, just what's the deal? Because there's two extreme outcomes right now for this Marlins team, and it's you're the new Rays and you're going to surprise a lot of people, or is this team going to stink and take a massive step back?
Or they just wind up in the middle with 73 games again. Unless they won like 79, actually.
That's a step back. That's what I'm saying. 73, I think, is a step back for them.
That's my point. Like, are you ready to go 500? Like, this team, you want to see development. You want to see growth from the unit. And I think if last year was real, you'll get that. But if last year was just kind of a fluke, flash in the pan, then you'll move back, like you said.
That is one question for every team in Major League Baseball. Love these hour-long flow states we get into. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to the Windup if you have not yet done so. Follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Giraffe Neck Mark. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.